Hey, what's up, fam? Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. I'm the host, as well as of the Bite Down Boxing podcast. So first, I'm getting ready to get into a quick take on Chris Broussard and Nick Wright. I believe it was on First Take this morning, but it may have been a different show because I think I listened to it at my lunch break. So it must have been on TV. But I got, but it was the class or Nick Wright's favorite LeBron James greater than Michael Jordan argument, or just his belief in that he's dead holding steadfast on that. So, but before I get into that, really, the link is in the description to check out this week's Bite Down Boxing podcast. It's a pretty special one. It has an international guest in Junior Fa, heavyweight, new WBO international champion. Just fought here in Ohio last Saturday night, and took out former French champion Nufel Ouattara. And just had a very interesting talk with the guy. He's MMA influenced. He was just in camp with Deontay Wilder, WBC undefeated WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder. He was in camp with him for preparation for Tyson Fury, and he just talked. So we heard that afterwards, Deontay came out and said that he had a hand injury, and I don't know whether you took that with a grain of salt or you said it was something that he said after the fact because he didn't get the win, or whatever. I feel like if you pass the medical, you can fight. But he actually had some thoughts on, or gave me some, behind the scenes details on Wilder's status in camp and what he observed. So, I'll leave it at that. He also talks about, the benefit of coming to the States to spar. Also, I just asked him about, competition levels between international fighters, man to man. And he kind of came around to what my question was about. America is a competitive ass country. We compete at stuff. And I just mentioned sometimes, you see it. You saw it with the Dream Team in the Olympics. Sometimes these teams don't step up. You see Serena's dominance on the women's game against a lot of that's an international field. Just can you match the competitive spirit of American athletes? And because he's an easygoing guy, smiling in the ring, lighthearted, and just we talked about that. And then he actually also mentions a puncher who he's been in the ring with, who hits harder, in his opinion, who actually hits harder than both Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, who he's been in the ring with both. So the timestamp is on there. The podcast is up at Left Jab All Night Boxing.com. I always forget if it's Team Left Jab or Left Jab All Night Boxing.com. You Google Team Left Jab, you'll get to it. Check out the network. It's a bunch of podcasts on there. Bite Down Boxing is just one, but like I said, and there's also audio of me and Showtime Sean Porter with a few questions to him, and then also me asking the question to your Danis, you guys. Those guys are the big fight this Saturday on PBC on Fox. So all of that's out there. You can skim through it. The timestamps are in the description. If you don't want to rock with me, you can you can jump to where you want to go in the podcast. But I would definitely check out Junior Fa. He's a guy that we could see at the next level in the near future. Getting back to this Chris Broussard situation with Nick Wright today. I mean, he actually I'm not gonna say I don't care for Broussard. I think it's been dope since he moved over from ESPN and has expanded his his area of expertise beyond just the NBA, and take what you will with him on the NFL side and Major League Baseball. But if you watch some of these shows, they basically talk about LeBron, KD, Golden State, and then the NFL. And that's kind of it. They don't really talk much out of those 6 or 7 key things. And but like I said, him and now his partner Rob Parker, I don't know about that guy sometimes. But they all are where they are. And actually, Nick Wright, while Nick Wright is Nick Wright. One thing I would say about Nick Wright, the dude is thorough. He's analytical. He's a beast at what he does. And very rarely would you be able to silence that guy or, shut him up. He's a talker, and he's like I said, he's a beast with the analytics. So, you got to go hard to really sun that dude on a sports debate, especially his favorite debate, which is anything related to LeBron James. But today, the dude just was standing there listening to it on the radio. It looked like he was standing there with an empty clip in his gun and was just getting fired on by Broussard. And basically, Broussard just said, if you subtracted 2 years that MJ lost, one in his second year, I believe, with the ankle or foot injury that he missed the entire season, and then the season that he was gone, or when he came back to Chicago in the mid-season or whatever. If you take away those 2 years, you're looking at 11 years, and basically MJ had 6 chips in 11 years, whereas LeBron is now at 3 in 16 years. And just mention that, your longevity can work against you when we look at this argument. So he said it's not just about the 6, which was Nick Wright's situation. I mean, his statement was, if you just want to talk about the 6 rings. And Broussard was just shut him down. He was like, nah, it's not just 6. It's just not 6 chips. It's the fact that it's the time span that it's done in. So, he killed him with that. And Nick Wright, as eager and, as emphatic as he can talk about LeBron and his greatness and as skilled as he is with his debate and with his presentation game, he knew that one was kind of lost. And there was other reasons that Broussard threw in there as far as MJ on the court and his strengths and weaknesses on the court, which I believe he said MJ really just had no weaknesses. But wherever you are with that argument, I don't even get into it because it's almost like Big and Pac, B.I.G. and Pac. If you enter that argument for your person, there's probably nothing that I'm going to say, no matter how strong my argument is, that's going to change your opinion. And when we walk away, I've said anything that made you say, you might be right, or that was a good point. So I really rarely engage in either the Pac Big argument or MJ and LeBron. I just think, my last statement here, I just think the NBA, all talk in the NBA is so much geared towards winning and towards rings, and how we can then come back. I just say it's a difference in greatness and who may or may not be the better player. And, like I said, we're almost to a point to where, because of the inarguable advantages of LeBron James just physically, if I was to start my team with the 28-year-old Mike and a 28-year-old LeBron James, just with the physical advantages of a LeBron, added to all of the skills, I'm probably going to take LeBron. But if I got to win a game 7, and the way that I've seen LeBron shrink in some big moments, in some big playoff games, if I just had to take that one game, then I probably take MJ. I take MJ because he was surgical in those moments. But yeah, that was just some good TV today. I was checking in on that and caught that, and just it was hilarious to hear Nick Wright just shut down like that. It was like that Super Bowl with what was that? The Broncos and against was that the Broncos against Peyton Manning's Broncos against the Seattle Seahawks when the game was over like 5 minutes into it. I mean, it was that bad. But let me get on off here again. Team Left Jab or leftjaballnightboxing.com. Check out the latest episode of the Bite Down Boxing podcast. And just posted that maybe a couple hours ago. So I'm out. Peace.